the chief guest, P.S. Moria, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and indeed champions of technical vocational training institutions and initiatives here present today. This is a very exciting moment where we celebrate 100 years of TVET and what it means for this nation. And if we can recollect and go back 100 years, at that time, we're aware, statistics show that enrollment was very low within the context of TVET. In fact, after 60s and 70s, when the national government started developing TVET, in 75, there were barely 3,000 students enrolled within the context of TVET institutions. And today, we celebrate greatness, and greatness within the context of what has happened and what we've all contributed to. More profoundly, with immense greatness, His Excellency President Ruto's resolve in promoting TVET as a master key within the context of the transformation and the prosperity agenda of this country, and what it means for the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and how it plays a significant role, if not the key role, in prompting these industries and capacities to the highest level of productivity, innovation, and efficiency. I'd also like to appreciate and applaud Minister Mashogu's, Honourable Minister Mashogu's resolve within the context of what he espouses, that indeed, as Kenyans, we need to be self-reliant, resilient, be able to develop our own industry, our own commerce platforms, and TVET plays that important role. And I congratulate P.S. Moria for her rollout of exceptional programs today, which promise great delivery of capacity to not only the commerce sector, but to the social sectors. We see that TVET has an impact on young people. We're all aware that when young people use their minds, their hands, they're able to be confident and independent to earn a livelihood. It makes them happy. And that's why psychologically TVET is so critical within the context of ensuring that we create a happy nation. Now, as far as industry is concerned, ladies and gentlemen, please be aware that sometimes processes are in place, but there's very little awareness about what the outcome of the process is. And so I would like to categorically tell you today that government's efforts in order to create an ecosystem and a systemic representation of outcomes towards productivity, innovation, and efficiency are highlighted in their key reforms that they've rolled out. The competency-based education training reform and policy is a dedicated foundation to ensuring that people are able to be trained to a specific standard, a standard that is embodied as far as how industry would attain greater levels of productivity, innovation, and efficiency. And that's the value proposition. And today the call is to help the nation appreciate that within the context of the CBIT policy, their enrollment and their involvement is absolutely crucial. So are the other innovations as far as policy and reform are concerned that have been led by the State Department for Technical and Vocational Training. The policy within the context of recognition of prior learning guarantees to the commerce sector that not only are they able to get the highest qualified skilled labor, after all, their enrollment and their involvement is part of policy as far as the development of occupational standards that are measurable to their gains. But more importantly, the existing workers can also be able to be transitioned into higher skilled pathways by ensuring that they're able to create the necessary capacities for reskilling or ensure that their skills are stackable. So the government's efforts today are incredible. They've introduced concepts like micro-credentials, partial learning systems, stackable systems, all for the benefit of the private sector and the social sector. And so there's much to be pleased about today. There's much to be a part of this celebration. I'd like to illustrate two efforts, further, that are truly transformative. We've seen existing policy reforms being applied to the remotest parts of this country and the most difficult parts of this country. We have a program called the Ujuzi Manyatani Initiative, which is in partnership with the Ministry of Education, which ensures that young people who may not have been to school may have or have been to school and have a vice, like, for example, cattle rustling and other vices, can still transition into TVET programs called the Ujuzi Manyatani Initiative and still be part and parcel of the pathway to further educational reform and a greater level of livelihood within the context of their contribution to development. Yet another initiative that is now being pioneered by the agricultural sector is to ensure that we create clusters around technical vocational training institutions in partnership with government and under the foundation of their great policy initiatives and their efforts to create clusters based on their value chains to promote the necessary skills, education, research and extension that will ultimately ensure that we have the highest level of impact as far as addressing challenges with respect to food security and climate-friendly solutions. And indeed, this is part of the greatness of today and the value proposition to all stakeholders that TVET's frameworks have now come of age, that we have the necessary policies and structures and capacities to profoundly make an impact, and that this has to be witnessed by context of how stakeholders are part and parcel of the initiatives within the entire ecosystem of TVET reform. I therefore encourage investment within the context of this value proposition and seek stakeholders to understand the enormous contributions TVET can make to their success of their productivity initiatives, their innovation initiatives, their efficiency initiatives, all based on a proven effort towards training to standards that are measurable, and standards that invoke the latest and the most greatest dynamism within the context of their development. I thank you very much.